Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, we are going to create a jet engine modeling. As you can see in this picture, like we are going to create this part using Creo parametric. So there are over 27 parts for creating this assembly, and then we are going to create a mechanism for this, and then we are going to analyze. Like we are going to create a motor on this, and we are going to rotate this part. Okay. So this is the part that we are going to create. So it is over 27 parts, right? So it takes around like 6 to 5 hours to create this entire part. So I can't able to put it as a single video. So I'm going to release it as part one, part two, part three, and so on. Okay. So this entire week is going to be this part. So I'm going to upload this part one, part two, basis on based on a daily basis. Okay. So let's get started. So there are over 27 parts, right? So because we are going to assemble all those parts into a single assembly, so I need to select the working directory first, which is must for creating parts. Okay, while we are going to assembly. Okay, so let's select the working directory and let's go and select the I'm going to select this folder as my working directory. Okay, and then click on OK. So now let's start creating our part. Okay, so before that, I need to see which part we are going to do it as a first. So I have received these 2D drawings from the course which I have studied this modeling. So this is the Udemy course part. So if you need all these dimension, I can share it via the description link, but I can't able to share this entire drawing. I will convert another 2D drawing by myself and I will share that on the description. Okay. So at first we are going to create the nose cone part. Okay, so this is the part that we are going to create as my first part. Okay, okay, nose cone engineering drawing. Okay, let's create a part and click the default template, and I'm going to rename it as nose cone. Sorry, nose cone. And like while we are creating our parts, we need to be standard with our template. So I'm going to use MMNS part solid ABS for all the parts that I'm going to create. Okay. So I'm going to select this template. Okay. So I'm going to start with my sketch on the front plane. So let's go for the front sketch. Okay. I'm going to use the revolve tool for this for creating this part. Okay. So at first, let's see. Okay, so this is the part that we are going to create. I'm going to use revolve tool and I'm going to just create the top sketch for this. So we need to create this line and this down line and then this. Okay, so for that, yeah, okay. So at first I'm going to draw a line like this, like from here till here, and then another line bottom, and then equal constraints, and then like this equal for the top line. Okay, and then the distance again like this. So let's assign the dimensions value. I'm going to assign this length. Okay, so this length as 5 and this height value as 5, and then this total distance like you can see here. Okay, so this distance value as 60, and then this total length like yeah, from here till here it will be 70. Okay, so then I'm going to create one more line from here till down, and then one more line like this. For this height, I'm going to enter a value of 10, and for this distance, I'm going to enter a value of 80. Okay, so we have completed this part. Okay, so let's go for the diagram. So we have completed this part, but we need to create this slant out line for this. Okay, so for this, I'm going to place a point here at the bottom, and let's see the distance of this point, like from here till here, it will be 170. Okay, and then from this midpoint, we need to minus the value of this 65. Okay, so let's go for the dimensions, like yeah, like 170 minus 65. So it will be the length from the mid plane, right? Okay, so now I'm going to merge this point to this top line. Okay, let's close this and let's see the diagram. Like we need to create one more line from the bottom to the here. Okay, and yeah, the offset value is 10. Okay, so let's create one more offset line for this. So I'm going to select the offset and I'm going to use the single line option here. Arrow mark is towards downwards. So the offset value will be 10. Okay. Okay, so let's close this. And now, like this distance is 10. So now I'm going to merge this line from here till here. Okay. Now let's delete the unwanted lines. Okay, then here. Okay, now we can close this line, close the sketch like this. Okay. So sketch has been completed and there are some other lines in this. Okay. So now we can directly revolve this, but for the revolve option, we need to create a center line like this and then click on OK. Now let's go for the revolve. Okay, our first part has been created here. Okay, so then click on OK. So now we have created this profile, but we need to create the holes which are all present on this right bottom face. Okay, the right face. So let's see the hole option, like it is 4 mm diameter and the depth value of 20 and the pattern number as 10 number of patterns. Okay, and then it is placed on the center point, right? So they have not provided any height value for this. Let's see whether there are any height value which is present on this. And yeah, okay, they have provided this inner circle value as diameter of 80. So let's close this and let's go on with the shading of the edges. Let's select this face and go for the sketch and go for the sketch view. So here, at first I'm going to take a reference here, here, and here. And let's go for the point and let's find the center point for this. Okay. So before that, I need to go for this dimension. It is 50 and this is 40. So this distance will be 10, right? So 40 plus 50, so it is nothing but a 45 as its center value. And then I'm going to draw a circle from this point with a diameter value of 4 here. Okay, so then click on OK. So let's check whether it is diameter. Okay, good. So now we can extrude this. Now we need to pick the direction on the depth as 20 as mentioned on this diagram and then click on OK. Now I'm going to pattern this based on the axis pattern. So go for the axis and this axis and I need a pattern number of 10 as mentioned in the diagram and let's go for the equal distance as a 360 angle. So then we have completed our part. Let's click on OK. Okay. So now we have completed our first part. So let's check whether all the dimensions which are mentioned in this diagram, whether we have implemented it or not. Okay. So yeah, good. Like we have completed our part. Okay. So let's save this part Okay, like can go for the save. And we have been selected before itself about the working directory, so it will be directly stored on that. So let's click on OK. So like we are going to assemble over 27 parts. Okay, so it will be very confusing. Like if you don't have any assembly images, so it will be very difficult to assemble those 27 parts. So it is better like we are going for the assembly and then the assembly itself. Okay, it will be very easy while you are creating more number of parts. Okay, so now I'm I'm gonna close this and then I'm going to go for the assembly and click the default template and I'm going to enter the name as jet underscore engine. So this will be our final assembly. Okay, so we are going to create all those parts inside this assembly only. So this will be our final assembly. So then click on OK. And then the unit as MMNS ASM design ABS. Okay, so we have selected ABS there. So we need to select the same here. Okay, so now we are going to assemble the first part, and then for that I'm going for the assemble and I'm going to assemble the first nose part here. And for this, like I'm going to use the default position for this. Okay, so directly go for the default and then click on OK. So we have assembled the first part, so then we can create all other parts in this assembly itself. So we don't want to go for the sketch or we don't want to go for the part again and creating the part and assembling it again in this assembly. We can directly create our part inside this assembly itself. Okay. So for that, we need to go for the create and then we need to enter the next part name. So then for the next part, let's close this. For the next part, we are going to create the primary turbine bushing. So where is that? I think okay. So we are going to create this part. Okay. So let's rename it as primary turbine bushing. Okay. So we are going to create the feature inside it. So it will be take the previous default template which we have used for this part. Okay. So create features. Okay. So now you can see the new part has been in active position where our old part is inactive. So we can't be able to select this plane which is known as an assembly plane for that. So we can't be able to use this assembly plane. So we need to create some offset plane which we are going to use this on our new part that we are going to create. Okay. So offset value is 0, 0, and 0. So we have created our separate planes for the part which we are going to create. Okay, if you go for this inside, you can able to see the planes which we have created for this part. Okay, so we can directly go for this datum 3, and now like we are going to sketch on this plane and then go for the sketch view. So here, like we are going to create one more feature. So I'm going to take reference on here and here. Okay, and then close it. Now let's go for the diagram. So this is the part that we are going to create. Like inside the whole part, it will be created. Like you can see the hole here. Okay. So 20 and this distance is 5 and this distance is 10. Okay. Let's zoom this. So this distance is 10 and this will be also 10 because 7. Okay. And then this total distance is a value of 80 minus 40 plus 10, 10, so it is 60. Okay, so now we can go and create our parts here. I'm going to draw a line like this, like from here till here, and height value, and then again the same line like this. So let's create dimension for this. As we have seen on the diagram, it is 20, and this height value as 5, and the top line it is also 20. Like we have created equal feature for this, you can see is 20. Okay, so then I'm going to create a line from here. So this distance value as 10. Okay. So after that, I'm going to create one more line like this with the same length of 20, and then again the same equal distance. Okay, so we can enter a value of 5 for this. Okay, and then another line like this from here, sorry, from this edge till, okay, till this edge. So then I'm going to draw a line from the bottom which is on equal constraint. So let's check this distance. So I don't want this value as 5. I don't want this. I need a value of 10 here. So enter a value of 10. So then I'm going to create a one more line at this bottom of the line like this. So this distance will be 60. So then let's see what are all the dimensions here. So now from here till here it is like this distance will be 10. So it is 10 minus 30, it is 25 minus 55, it is 30, right? 30, and then again the distance of 10 here. Okay, so now let's go for the line. Let's create one more line like this. I don't want to make any constraint for this. So this length is 30, and one more line towards left side. It will be with the value of 10, as we have seen in this diagram. So 10. Okay, so let's see whether like this diagram they have mentioned this total height as 55, and from here till here like it will be around 25. So let's check whether it is placed correctly or not. Okay, 55, good. And from here till here it will be 25. Yeah, so we have done our parts correctly. So then I'm going to create like this inner surface, like this inner edges. Okay, so now we need to create this. So for that, like I'm going to create a line like this. Okay, so this distance will be 30. Okay, so we need to place this like at the center of this line. So for that, like we need to measure the distance. Okay, so it is 60 and this will be 38. So I'm going to drag like this. Okay, so 30 is kind of midpoint. So let's go for the dimension and select this and this. So this will be 15, I think so. And let's select this and this. It should be 15. Okay. Yeah, it is placed on the center. So now let's go for the sketch and this height, total height value was 10. So this height value was 7. So let's go and let's create a dimension for this height from here till here. It will be 7. Okay, if this is 7, the total height is 10, so 10 minus 7, so this edge, as you can see here, so this edge height as 3, and then this distance is 30 minus 40, so it is 10, 5 here and 5 here, so 3, 5, and then we can directly join this. Okay, so let's draw a line like this. Okay, height value as 3, and then this distance value as 5. So we need to do the same on the other side also, like 3 and 5. Okay, I have made some equal constraints for this. Okay, so I think like we have done, but we need to merge these lines, right? So for that, let's go for the sketch and let's check that they are provided in dimension for that. Okay, so they have provided the total length for this. It is 10. Okay, Mhm. And it is 20, so it will be like around 10 for this. 20, 10, 40 is 70, and then 10. Okay, so let's create one more line up to this bottom reference, and let's check whether this dimension is the same as 10. Okay, so it is 10, so let's draw a line like this, and then let's close this. Okay, and then like we need to see whether this line has a distance of 10. Yeah, it is good. So we need to merge this like from here till here. Yeah, it is a straight line. Okay, so we have done our sketch. Okay, I think we have completed all this. Like, let's check for the one more time. For this distance is 20 and this distance is 10. And from here till here it will be 40 and then 10. The total length as 80. Okay, so let's go for the dimensions. It is 20 and so this is 10, so 30, and this will be 30, and this will be 5 plus 5, 40, so it is 70, and then this is 10, 80. So now we have completed our sketch. So let's go for the revolve. So for that, we need to create a center line like this, and then we can click on OK, and then let's go for the revolve. Okay. So yeah, I think it is okay for me. So then let's click on OK, and let's go for the dry run. But then we need to provide any round feature for this. Like let's yeah, you can see here there are over two holes here. So for that, it will be like the same center point. So we need to create a single hole, and we need to create a whole feature for through all this part. Okay, so for this hole they are mentioned height of 45 with a diameter of 4. Okay, so yeah, let's select this face, and then let's go for the sketch, and then let's go for the sketch view. So here I'm going to draw a circle. Like, let's take a reference on this midplane. Okay, so I'm going to draw a circle like this with the same dia of value 4, and this height value as 45, which meets the center point of this previous holes. Okay, so then click on OK, go for the extrude. So now I'm going to flip the direction, but we need this hole to be placed on this surface also. Okay, so we can also drag it, but if this like if we have dragged this, it will be placed on somewhere else. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to use these two selected, and I'm going to select um yeah, this inner face, or you may also select this face. Okay, and then click on OK. So now yeah, we have created this whole part. Now let's go for the extrude, and we need to pattern it. Let's see the pattern numbers. I think it should be same as 10 numbers. Yeah, okay. So let's select the axis pattern, select this mid axis, and then axis number as 10, and then as equally spaced, and then click on OK. So now we have created our second part also. So I think it looks good. So let's click this part, and I'm going to save this part. I'm going to open it as a separate part, and then let's go for the save. Okay, same folder. Click on OK. So now we don't want this part, so I'm going to close this. Okay, so then active this, and then active the entire assembly. Okay, so now let's save this part by regenerating it, and then I'm going to save this assembly. Okay, so now we have created around two parts. So let's go for the third part here. So let's go for the create. I'm going to create the same part again in this assembly itself. So whether it is based on the difficulties on the part. So if you are going to create a simple part like this, you can able to create this on the assembly itself. But when you are going for a very complicated part, we can't able to create the part in this assembly because it may have some like around 10 or 20 axes, so it will be very difficult to select a particular active axis which you are going to select. Okay, so for these easy parts, I'm going to use this in this assembly itself. Okay, for the difficulty parts, we need to create a separate part and we need to assemble it here. So we will see in upcoming videos like what we are going to do in this part. Okay, so I'm going to do for the third part. So for the third part, like, yeah, 1 minute, I need to select the folder for the drawings. Okay, so I'm going to use this next diagram as a beginning one. Yeah, so this is the part that we are going to create. So I'm going to rename it as bearing underscore one, create features. Okay, and then we need to offset the planes here. Okay, okay, okay. So then we can directly go for the sketch. So yeah, let's go for the sketch and then go for the sketch view. Here, I need to place this in between these two parts, okay, like here. Okay, so now, so let's see the diagram. So the chamfer side should be on the right side. Okay, so we need to place this on the part itself. Okay, so we need to place the chamfer side here. Okay, so I think this will be very easy part. So we can directly go for the revolve and this height as 84 divided by 2 as 42. And then this distance value as 30. So from here till here it will be 25, like minus 5 with the 30. Okay, and then what else do we have? So this distance has 1.5, like this height value. Okay, so then we can directly go for the part and then we can create in here. Okay, so let's take a reference like from here till here, like all these references, because we are going to place this part inside the part which we have created before, right? So let's create a line like this. Okay, I'm going to create a line like this, and then let's check whether this distance has a value of 30. Yeah, it is okay. So then I'm going to place this line at the distance of 32. Okay, yeah, we did it placed on the reference. So yeah, and then I'm going to create one more line like this from here reference, and then this will be 25 like we have seen on the diagram. On this height, like total height value as a value of like 84, it will be divided by 2, right? So it will be 42. So 42, okay. So then we can complete our left side sketch. So we can draw a line like this. We can complete this, and then I'm going to create a chamfer feature for this, or else like for that we need to draw a line like this, and then this distance value is like this height value. So it will be like, yeah, 1.5. So this height will be 1.5. Okay, and another one more line like this from here till here. It will be a distance of 5. Okay, so then we can directly complete our sketch by drawing a line like this and then escape. Okay, so now I'm going to revolve this. Okay, so for that I need to create a center line like this and then click on OK. Go for the revolve. Okay, we have completed our part. So then click on OK here. And then let's go for the diagram whether we need to add any chamfer feature for this. Yeah, so they have mentioned a chamfer here. Okay, here like they have mentioned C1 of 45 degrees. So we don't want to mention the degree because the chamfer itself it is taken as a default angle as 45 degree. So the chamfer value is 1, right? On the both edges, this and this also. Okay. And then here also they have implemented the chamfer. So let's go for the chamfer and the chamfer value as 1 and select this surface, and then this inner surface. Okay, so we have created sample for this. So we have completed our third part. So we can open this part and we can save our part like this. Okay, close it. and let's go for the let's make it as an active for the entire assembly. Now I'm going to regenerate it and I'm going to save this part one more time because like sometimes it may not save like it may cause some like the river model is not regenerated. You may able to see the pop-up window on the bottom left corner. Okay, for that we are regenerating our part for the individual time for the individual part that we have created for that. Okay, so we have completed our three parts here. So let's go for the fourth part. So for the part also I'm going to create inside this assembly itself. So for the next part, I'm going to close this and then, yeah, for the next part, like we are going to create like yeah, central mounting shaft. So let's open this. Okay, so let's open the part. Okay, so this will be like it will be like a complicated part in this model. Okay, so yeah, I think we have got enough dimensions here. So we can directly create this part. Okay, let me just zoom this and yeah, okay. Total height length as 400, and then this will be 20 here. Okay, the tail length as 50, 50, and then yeah, okay. This total height value. Let's see it as 110, so it will be divided by 2 while we are doing this revolve from the center axis, right? So it should be for 55, okay? And then, yeah, let's go for that and let's create our part. Okay, so central, central mounting shaft, okay, create features, and then offset planes, okay. So I'm going for the sketch again, or for the sketch view. Okay, so I don't want this view on this side, I need it like this. You can go for the front view like this. Okay. So for this, yeah, okay. So let's see the drawing for the one more time where we are going to place this part. Okay. Okay. So okay. So let's continue with starting our points. Like I'm going to take reference on this edge and this top edge. Okay. So let's create a line like this. Yeah, I'm going to draw a line from yeah here to here, and then one more line like this and like this. So I don't want to make equal constraint for this. So this length as a value of 20, and then go for the dimension, select this line, and this total height we have seen like 55 that is placed on the center. So like we have seen the entire length as 110. So it will be divided by 2, it will be 55. Okay, okay, then like from this line to this center line, it should have a value of 25. Okay, so then this length value as 10. Okay, good. And then like yeah, I'm going to draw a constructive line like this from here till here. So this line distance will be 400. So it will be the total distance of the part, right? As you can see in this diagram. So this total length value as 400. Okay, so let's close this. So now I'm going to create a normal line like this, like from here till here. I don't want any. relationship for this, and then like I don't know the exact dimension for this line, so we need to add a value of the same 55 here, and same 55 on this length value. Um, okay, so this length value, oh yeah, it will be the same as here, so it will be the 10 value. Okay, so here it has mentioned as 10. Okay, so now let's go for the dimensions and let's collect this top edge from here. It will be like 55 as the same, and then okay, why we can't able to change this? Yeah, from here till here, yeah, it is 55, and from this bottom till here, I need the value of 30 here. Okay, let's check whether it is got sync 55. Okay, so let's create one more line from here like this. So this will be like with a value of 10 here, like we have seen before. So then we have created this profile. Okay, so then I need to create this surface. Okay, so what else do we have here? Mm, okay, should be 10 here, and then from here till here it will be 100, and okay, they have mentioned angle of 145 here, and then this distance will be 200. Okay, okay. So let's draw a line like from here till here, and then like go for the dimensions, select here, select here. So I need this value as 10. Okay, so yeah, it is 10. Okay, so then I'm going to draw a line like this. Okay, sorry, delete this line. I need a distance like from here till here. We need a distance value from this point to this point. Okay, for the dimensions from here till here, it will be 10. Okay, so then I'm going to draw a line from here as a straight line, and I need this length as 100, as they mentioned here. This length as 100, and this line as 200. Okay, so for that we need to create 145-degree angle line. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to create a line like this without any dimension. So this angle value as 145-degree. Okay, good. And then I'm going to create one more constructive line here like this. And then from here, go for the dimensions. From here till this midpoint, it should have a value of, yeah. So this total height value, mm, okay, 144.01. So it should be around like 72. Okay, 72. Okay, so let's go for here like 72 as point the same 01. Okay, so then let's create a normal line and let's see like from this edge to this edge it will be around 200, right? So I'm going to create a line from this coincident, so it's not placed correctly. Yeah, from here till here it will be 200. Okay, so now I don't want this line. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so then we can create a normal join for this from here till here. Okay, so now we have completed our overview profile. Okay, so Let's check the dimension. Okay, from here till here, it will be 72.01. Check whether it is okay for me. Um, yeah, yeah, it looks good. Okay, okay, okay. So now we can go for the offset option so that we can able to create one more feature as the same we have done like this. Okay, so this will be 10. Okay, all the dimensions that we have mentioned, like we have created here. So don't worry about the constructive line. So it will be deleted automatically. So we don't want to worry about that. This will not provide any impact while you are creating your revolve option. Okay, so it's just a constructive line for our reference. Okay, so yeah, we can go for the offset, and I need it as a loop. Select this line. Direction is toward outside, so we need to provide a negative value for this, minus 10. Okay, close this. So now our offset has been created. So we can directly join these lines to complete our sketch. Okay, so we have completed our sketch. So then we can directly go for the revolve. Okay, so let's create one more center line at this mid and then click on OK and then go for the revolve. Okay, so now we have completed our revolve tool. So then click on OK here. So then we need to create one more feature. Like we have forgot to create this curved edges. Okay, so we need to create this. So we need to go for the revolve again. We need to revolve for this part. Okay, okay. Let's select this datum plane, datum 3, sketch, and then go for the sketch view. So here we need to take a reference on this top, and then this edge. Okay, so let's go for the line, or else like we can create a corner rectangle from this edge like this. Okay, so let's go for the dimension and see like this distance value of 20 and yeah, this height value, as you can see here, it is 5. Okay, 25, and then the distance value. Yeah, you can see here the value of 55 from here till here, this edge, it will be 55. Okay, so we can create like 20 and this height value as 5, and I don't want this. I need a dimension from this edge till this edge. I need a value of 55. Okay, good. Like we have completed our sketch. So let's create center line for the revolve. Click on OK. So go for the revolve option. Okay, so we have completed a feature for this. Okay, sorry. Let's check whether it is okay, or else we need to create a tapper feature for this. Okay, so there is no need of creating a tapper. So they have provided a chamfer at this edge. So we don't want this. Okay, so let's click this and we need to create the same for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 features for this. Okay, so let's select this revolve and I'm going to pattern this. Let's go for the direction pattern. Let's select this direction. Okay, okay. No, 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 not this direction. Or else we can select this plane. Okay, like this direction. Okay, and let's see the spacing option. Um, yeah, they have mentioned the spacing like from here till here. It should be have a value of 40. Okay, so I need a value like a number of 5 parts with a spacing of 40 and then click on OK. Okay, so I think our part has came like very good. Okay, so now let's let's see the diagram and then whether we have implemented all these dimensions perfectly. Okay, so they have provided a value of 165 here, so from this edge till this edge. Let's check whether that is like whether we have created it correctly. Like one second, let's go for the sketch, go for the sketch view. Here, like dimension, like from here, from here till this edge, it should be 165. Okay, good. Can close our sketch. Okay, so then, yeah, like I think we have completed everything. Okay, like let's see whether yeah, we need to add round feature for this. Okay, and then another round feature on this side also, and here and here. Okay, so oh well, they have provided the radius value. Here they have provided the radius value of 30 here. Okay, and then yeah, you can see deeply about the round feature. Here 30, 30, and then here also it should be 30. Okay, let's go for the round and the radius value of 30. Okay, so then we need to create a round feature here. Okay, and then I think here also they need a round feature. Mm, yeah, but they have provided here like for this entire round, right? So we need to take it as okay, as it is. Okay, so I need to create here and then here and then here. Okay, so now we have created our own feature. Okay, let's see. It looks good. Okay, so now we need to create chamfer feature, but before that we need to create like any other round feature or here or not. Like here you can see another round feature of 2 here on this edge allowed, right? They have not uh, implemented any other radius value for this. So this is only one left. So let's go for the round and I need this round value as a radius of 2 and then select this edge and then okay. So now we have created all our round feature. So then you can go for the chamfer feature. You can see all the edges. It has a chamfer of 1 at the angle of 45 degree. So let's go for the chamfer and then I'm going to enter a value of 1 here. Okay. So we need to create a chamfer here. Okay. And then here, 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 and then here. And the same on the other side also. This this edge, and then this edge. Like, yeah, we have missed anything. Yeah, no. Okay, so we have completed our chamfer feature with a value of 1. We don't want to worry about the angle because at default option of the chamfer angle, it will be 45. Okay, so we don't want to worry about that. So let's click on OK. Okay, so we have created our chamfer parts. Okay, so then we need to create a round feature for this. Like they may have some couple of holes here. Um, yeah, let's unzoom it, and then on the left side it should be like a hole here. On the right side it should have a holes like this. Okay, the same as 45 as a height and the diameter value of 4, like which we have done for the previous parts. So they are having the same like the distance of the hole. So either we can take a reference to the previous hole or else we can create a hole based on this dimension, like a height of 45. So yeah, I'm going for the sketch, this face, sketch, and then go for the sketch. So reference as a center plane. Let's take and let's check whether it is same or not. I'm going to take this as a reference and then like let's draw a circle with yeah, I don't want to use this equal constraint because sometimes it may overlap the feature which we are doing here. So dimensions from this midpoint to here, it should have a value of 45. Yeah, like the same I explained before, they have followed the same reference circle. So let's click on OK and let's go for the extrude. And for this extrude, yeah, they have created at the inner face. Yeah, you can see the reference here. Okay, like like that. Did they have mentioned any depth value for this? So let's go here. Okay, here like I think they don't have mentioned anything. Ah, yeah. Here you can see this whole feature here. So they have mentioned this depth as a value of 10. So let's extrude it to a value of 10. It will be hollow inside, right? Okay. So yeah, we can click on OK and we can create a pattern for this extrude as axis pattern. Yeah, axis pattern. And I need a number of the same 10 and then equally spaced and then click on OK. So now we have created a round feature for this, like a whole feature for this side. So we need to create another round feature for the right side also. But here the distance it will be like different, like 47.50. So I'm going to click on this space, sketch, and then go for the sketch view. Here we can't able to take the reference to the previous circle, but we need to create our own circle like this. And then I'm going to adjust this diameter value of 4 and then this height value as a value of 47.5. 47.5. Okay, you can see it is not placed at the reference of the circle. Okay, I'm okay with this. So let's click on OK and let's go for the X2. Okay, I'm going to flip this because it is a hole for this. Flip the direction and then I think it will be like extrude up to the surface. So go for the two selected, select this surface. Okay, or else you can add a value of this distance. With this distance, it will be a value of 5, I think so. Yeah, okay, it is 10. So we need to enter a value of 10 here for the depth, or else you can go for the two selected surface. Okay, so then I'm going to click on OK and let's go for the pattern. So axis pattern, select this axis and the same, it should have a number of 10 here, equally spaced, and then click on OK. So yeah, we are done with our part. Like, do we need to add anything else on this part? Like, oh, yeah, it is okay. It looks good. Okay, we have completed our part. Okay, as you can see here, it looks same. All the dimension we have corrected. Okay, so let's close this. Like, we have completed our like fourth part here. So yeah, we can save this. We can open it on the separate part, and let's save this part, the same working directory, and then close this. Let's make it as an active for the one more time, and let's make active as an entire assembly. Okay, so let's click on regenerate, and then we can save our part. Okay, okay, guys, like we have done our four parts on our first video. Okay, so we will create the next parts on the upcoming video. Okay, so I think the video will be released tomorrow. Okay, so I think for this video it is okay for me, like we have completed our four parts, so then we can go for the couple of parts on the next video. Okay, so don't skip this video, guys, because in each and every part of this video I have mentioned some dimensions. So if you want to practice this, I will add this drawing on your like on my video description, and then you can take a reference on those diagrams and then you can create it by your own. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. So we will see in next video for creating more parts. Okay, so thank you, guys. We will see in next video. Until then, bye.